What's going on? How y'all doing? So this is another NFL announcer. So let's get it. Greg Olsen versus Chris Collingsworth. This should be good. Greg Olsen was a big time good tight end for the Carolina Panthers. He was in that Super Bowl with Cam Newton, that 15-1 team, and he was a big integral part. Definitely, he's the dude that um he was good, but he played in the era with Gronk, and then you had Kelsey come along later. So if you would, you're just good, you don't win. Kind of people kind of forget about you to an extent. But he had a good personality. His personality, his vibe connected. So he became an announcer, and he's good. I like how he commentates. I like that he has a good balance with his voice. He doesn't get easily animated. He's very detailed, very focused. When you're a position player, especially on offense, guys look for certain things that they say and how they pinpoint. But he is very precise, and he has a good form of articulation. And I've always liked his manner of the game. So I think and I got to watch him when he played for Carolina, and he was good. He was good. He was legit. Chris Collinsworth. I always get asked about him because I got some buddies who don't really like him, and some people think he's kind of like Nick Wright's half cousin, half brother, because how he is with his slurp fest and what he do. Um, he's done that with everybody that was happening. He does it with Mahomes. He did it with Brady. He goes through these fests. Um, he was a decent receiver back when Cincinnati lost the Super Bowl to San Francisco. He was decent. I remember his playing career. What I call lower second tier kind of receiver. You know, but he did his part. He did his part. Um, it's kind of a trip because pretty much he still pretty much looks the same, and he pretty much the vibe. He's been a broadcaster for quite a while, but I think he kind of annoys some people because he be standing and he kind of gets into his fanboy cadence, and then and sometimes some of his and the way he analyzes things can kind of jar some people. He has an interesting way of polarizing, but he's not the worst. But he's one of those people that you kind of like, you listen to an extent if you choose to. It's all interesting where he comes down. But he's done some things. I mean, him and Al Michaels teamed up, and they had some moments together. And I again, there's so much of him that he's all right. He all right. I'm not the biggest fan of his. This is probably gonna be the one. Well, if I get asked about two cats that are broadcasters, well, I pretty much got one over the other, and it's not even close. Because I'm gonna take Greg Olsen. I like the way Greg Olsen articulates, and I just think he's pretty much spot on as far as I'm concerned. Um, Collinsworth is good sometimes, but sometimes he be one of those cats that you just put on mute, and you just let the comments come through without having to hear what he got to say. I mean, sometimes it be that way, but I do like Olsen. I think he's a good fit, and I think the balance is really good. So but again, it comes down to preferences. We all have different people that we like for different reasons. Sometimes it's their tone, nuances, and the way they reflect it. So I think I can definitely get make that correlation. But it makes for good debate and fun and banter about it. But I think Olsen gives you a good perspective on the game, and he balances out. And I think that I just like the way the totality works really cool. So sometimes the way they voice certain things, and that's all. But anyway, let me know what you think. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share if you like. Hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.